Good day everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soleil's Life. Let's begin by showing the pieces that I'm working with. First we have the back pattern piece, cut on a fold with seam allowance added all the way around. On the back pattern it's going to be hemmed, 1 inch hem, and it's going to have a back dart. Here we have the front section of the top. The top consists of seam allowance already added all the way around. It's half of an inch seam allowance on the waistline, half a length seam allowance on the shoulder, the sides and the armhole, and 1 inch seam allowance on the front neckline. There's also a dart on the seam allowance on the side bust on both sides of the top. So this would be the front two section. I folded and ironed in an inch seam allowance here on the front neckline just to make it easy so you could see. So first, to begin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin the dart so that, keep in mind, there is a dart on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead, the same exact thing I'm doing on this side, I'm going to do it on the other side. So I pinned the dart for the side bust area. I'm going to go ahead and sew that dart. I'm also going to pin the other dart on the other side of the top, and I'm going to stitch it down. For the back of the top, the neckline, I'm going to use a 1 inch strip, which I'm going to flat stitch down, cut the extra half, cut the seam allowance in half, and fold it over and flat iron and flat stitch it down. So that's going to be the liner for the neckline for the back. So I'm going to go ahead now, stitch the darts on both sides and stitch the neckline on the back of the top, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Here I have the two front pieces of the top with the darts stitched on, and I also flat stitched down the 1 inch fold for the neckline on both pieces. Also, here I have the back of the top. I flat stitched down the liner on the neckline. What I'm going to do now is join the shoulders together. So I'm going to place both the front and back, right side facing each other. I'm going to line the neckline, and I'm going to go ahead and pin the shoulders on both sides. So what I'm going to do now is flat stitch down both the shoulders, and then I'll be back to show you what's next. After joining the shoulders of the top, front and back together, I went ahead and I placed a 1 inch strip all around the armhole. So I'm going to stitch all the way around the armhole, then I'm going to fold it over, flat stitch it down. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just put a 1 inch strip, go ahead and pin it all the way around, flat stitch it, fold it over in half, and flat stitch it down again. So this is going to be what's lining the armhole. Or the second option is you can cut the exact same pattern out of the armhole with how much inches over you want, stitch it down, fold it over, iron it down. So that could be the second option. So I'm going to go ahead now and stitch the liner onto both armholes. So here I am with the armhole on both sides stitched down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to join the top together on the sides. So I'm going to line the sides up, starting from the underarm. And I'm just going to go ahead and pin it along. So once I pin the arm along, this is gonna be the hem of the back. The front, as you can see, is not hemmed. The front section is where the strap is gonna go for the wrap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stitch. I'm gonna leave 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch all the way up on both sides. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. So I'm going to head and close it up on both sides and leave 1/2 inch seam allowance unstitched so you could join the band to the front. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. After I've joined the sides together, what I did was I took a 2-inch strip and I folded it 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, so it came like this. So I'm going to take this strip, I'm going to place it on the hem of the front. Keep it in mind, we left 1/2 inch loose here. So this is the 1/2 inch I'm going to be using to put the strap alongside the front. So I'm going to pin it down all the way over. Just so. And I'm going to do this all the way to the end of the front, which I'm going to cut this off right here, this little strip right here. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off so it's going to be even with the line. So right now, as you can see, it's not even, so I'm just going to cut it off so it could be even. And I'm going to go ahead and place that in all the way over, and I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down. So I'm going to go ahead now and flat stitch this all the way over. I'm also going to do the same with the other side. Pin it down, and I'm just going to flat stitch all the way down. When I'm done doing this, I am going to serge. I'm going to join the sides, match the hems up together with the back, because this is going to be the hem for the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to match the hem with the back in line with the hem to the front, just so. And this is where you're going to get your hem for the back. So the same measurements you have here, you're just going to fold it over and flat stitch it all the way down for the back. The front is going to be like this, and I'm going to serge the excess or the salvage edge of the side lining where you join the front and back. I'm going to go ahead and just serge this over. So I'm going to go ahead now and join the strap on both pieces of the front and hem the back of the top and serge the sides. I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. So here is the strap that I've sewn on. I did the strap extremely long. I'm going to go ahead and cut it to the length that I wanted. So I just did it long at the moment. So this is the top that's done. So you have the back and you have the darts, the wrap band sewn on, and the neckline.